My name is Jason, and I remember that vacation to Hawaii with a bitter intensity. It was supposed to be a celebration, marking our 15th anniversary in paradise. Lucy, my wife, always brought a vivacious spark to my life. Beautiful, charming, and with a genuine love for adventure. Little did I know, her adventures would lead us to the brink of ruin. We arrived at Paradise Cove with eager anticipation. The resort was everything we had dreamed of. Azure waters, palm-fringed beaches, and the promise of uninterrupted bliss. Our first evening, dining under the starlit sky, should have been a culmination of our years together. Instead, it marked the beginning of a nightmare. Lucy started acting strangely that night. Her eyes, usually warm and affectionate towards me, began darting around the room, seeking something or someone else. I brushed it off initially, attributing it to the excitement of being on vacation. But the next morning, when I woke and found her absent from our room, unease settled in. I assumed she must have gone for an early morning walk on the beach, a habit she often indulged in. Hours passed and she didn't return. It wasn't until I ventured out searching for her that I saw them together. Lucy was sitting at the bar, laughing, and engaged in animated conversation with a tall brunette man I had never seen before. My heart sank as I approached, their voices growing louder as I got closer. "You should come up to my room," I heard him say, his voice carrying a tone of suggestion that shattered my world. I stood there, frozen in disbelief, watching them disappear down a dimly lit corridor. Anger and betrayal surged through me like a storm, leaving me numb and trembling with the weight of what I had just witnessed. The hours I spent alone on our balcony felt like an eternity. Time stretched and twisted, each moment echoing with the pain of realization and the seeds of vengeance taking root in my mind. I resolved to find out more about him. His name was Daniel, a guest at the resort for a few days. He had a wife back in Chicago. What was he doing with Lucy? Under the guise of casual strolls, I learned his routines. I discovered his regular visits to a particular bar in town, which became a crucial piece in my unfolding plan. As the days passed, I meticulously tracked his movements and learned that he planned to spend his last evening on the island before returning home. It was my chance. That evening, as they prepared for dinner, I orchestrated a casual encounter with Daniel at the same bar. He was friendly, oblivious to the fact that I knew his secret. When he left his table briefly, I seized the opportunity. Sneaking into his room, I found his passport and cell phone. With trembling hands, I crafted a letter purportedly from his wife, detailing his infidelity, and left it along with his belongings on the table in our room. When Lucy returned, she looked devastated and bewildered. I played the role of the consoler, hiding the knowledge that I now held the power. As we sat on the beach that final evening watching the sunset paint the sky in hues of gold and crimson, I felt a mix of bitterness and relief wash over me. My revenge was complete, but our marriage would never be the same again. Little did I know, this was just the beginning of a journey through betrayal, deception, and the unraveling of everything I held dear. The following weeks back home were a haze of strained conversations and silent accusations. Lucy's guilt was palpable, her attempts at normalcy falling flat against the backdrop of my simmering resentment. I couldn't shake the image of her with Daniel, the way she had looked at him with a spark I thought was reserved for me alone. Every time she touched her phone or received a message, suspicion gnawed at me like a persistent ache. One evening, unable to contain my torment any longer, I confronted her. We stood in our dimly lit kitchen, the weight of unspoken truths hanging heavy between us. "You were with him, weren't you?" I demanded, my voice raw with hurt. Lucy's eyes widened, caught off guard by the sudden accusation. "Jason, I don't know what you're talking about," she stammered, her facade faltering. "Don't lie to me, Lucy," I pressed, my anger threatening to spill over. "I saw you with him at the bar, laughing, flirting, making plans." She looked away, her shoulders sagging in defeat. I didn't plan for any of this to happen," she admitted, her voice barely a whisper. "How could you do this to us? To me?" I asked, my voice breaking with emotion. "After everything we've been through." Tears welled up in her eyes, a mixture of remorse and desperation. "I don't know, Jason," she confessed, her voice trembling. "I felt so lost, so disconnected from us, and then Daniel came along and I made a terrible mistake." Her words cut through me like a knife. The woman I had loved and trusted had shattered our bond with a single act of betrayal. "What do we do now?" she asked softly, her voice pleading for forgiveness. I shook my head, struggling to comprehend the wreckage of our marriage. "I don't know, Lucy," I admitted, my voice heavy with resignation. "I don't know if we can ever go back to how things were." She reached out tentatively, her hand hovering in the air between us. "Please, Jason," she implored, tears now streaming down her cheeks. "I'm so sorry. I'll do anything to make it right." I looked at her, searching for the woman I had fallen in love with all those years ago. She was still there, beneath the layers of betrayal and pain. "I need time," I finally said, my voice steadier than I felt inside. "I need time to figure things out." Lucy nodded silently, her gaze pleading for a glimmer of hope. We stood there, two shattered souls in the wreckage of what was once our sanctuary. As the days turned into weeks, we navigated the jagged edges of our fractured relationship. Trust, once broken, proved elusive to repair. Each attempt at reconciliation was met with echoes of doubt and suspicion. In the quiet moments of solitude, I wrestled with the decision that loomed over us. Could I forgive her? Could we rebuild what was lost? Or was this the end of our journey together? The answers eluded me, buried deep within the labyrinth of my wounded heart. And so, we existed in a limbo of uncertainty, bound by love and betrayal, grappling with the consequences of our choices in the aftermath of that fateful vacation in paradise. In the weeks that followed our confrontation, a heavy silence settled between Lucy and me. It was a silence pregnant with unspoken words, each of us grappling with our demons and the uncertain future of our marriage. I found solace in long walks and solitary drives, trying to clear my mind amidst the turmoil. The countryside offered a reprieve, its vastness mirroring the emptiness I felt inside. One afternoon, as I stood on the shore of a quiet lake, the sun casting shimmering reflections on the water, I allowed myself to reflect on the years we had shared. Memories flickered like distant stars in the night sky, moments of laughter, joy, and unwavering companionship. But now, those memories were tainted by the stark reality of betrayal. How could I reconcile the woman I loved with the one who had strayed? Was forgiveness possible, or was it merely an illusion I clung to out of fear of letting go? Returning home, I found Lucy sitting in our garden, her expression a mix of hope and apprehension. She looked up as I approached, uncertainty etched in the lines of her face. "I've been thinking," I began slowly, choosing my words with care. "About us, about where we go from here." She nodded, her eyes searching mine for a sign of what was to come. "I don't know if I can ever fully trust you again," I admitted, the weight of my words hanging heavy in the air. "But I also don't want to throw away everything we've built together." Tears welled up in her eyes, her hands trembling in her lap. "I understand," she whispered, her voice barely audible. "I'll do whatever it takes, Jason. I'll do anything to earn back your trust." I sat down beside her, the distance between us feeling both immense and infinitesimal. "It's not just about trust," I said softly, struggling to articulate the storm of emotions inside me. "It's about rebuilding what we had, or finding a way to move forward, whatever that may look like." Her shoulders sagged with the weight of our uncertain future. "I love you, Jason," she said earnestly, her voice tinged with desperation. "I know I made a terrible mistake, but I love you more than anything." I closed my eyes, the ache in my heart a constant companion. "I need time," I repeated, my voice raw with emotion. "Time to heal, time to figure out if we can salvage this." For a moment, the only sound was the rustling of leaves in the gentle breeze. We sat there, two souls adrift in a sea of regret and longing. As the days turned into weeks, Lucy and I tentatively navigated the delicate dance of reconciliation. We sought counseling, pouring our hearts out in the presence of a neutral observer who helped us unravel the tangled threads of our relationship. Slowly, painfully, we began to communicate again. We spoke of our fears and insecurities, of the cracks that had formed long before Daniel entered our lives. The journey was arduous, filled with setbacks and small triumphs, but we persevered. In the quiet moments before sleep claimed me, I found myself grappling with forgiveness. Could I let go of the hurt and anger that threatened to consume me? Could I embrace the possibility of a future where trust could bloom anew? Lucy, too, wrestled with her demons, her determination to make amends a beacon of hope in our turbulent seas. And so we stood at a crossroads, our hearts battered but beating still. The path ahead was uncertain, fraught with challenges and pitfalls, but as long as we walked it together, perhaps there was hope yet for our fractured love to find its way back home. As weeks turned into months, Lucy and I embarked on a journey of rediscovery and reconciliation. Our days were filled with counseling sessions, heartfelt conversations, and tentative steps toward rebuilding what had been broken. The wounds of betrayal were slow to heal, but with each passing day, I found myself opening up to the possibility of forgiveness. Lucy's remorse was palpable, her determination to earn back my trust unwavering. She was there, every step of the way, willing to confront the demons that had threatened to tear us apart. Together, we delved into the depths of our relationship, exploring the fissures that had long been ignored. We spoke of our dreams and aspirations, of the fears that had driven us apart, and the love that still bound us together despite everything. One evening, as we sat by the fireplace in our living room, the crackle of burning logs a comforting backdrop to our conversation, Lucy reached out to me. "I'm so sorry, Jason," she said softly, her eyes reflecting a vulnerability I had not seen in a long time. "I know I hurt you deeply, and I'll spend the rest of my life trying to make it right." I took her hand in mine, the gesture a tentative bridge between us. "I want to believe we can get through this," I admitted, my voice laced with uncertainty. "But I'm still scared, Lucy, scared that we'll never be the same." She nodded, her thumb tracing circles on the back of my hand. "I understand," she murmured, her voice tinged with sadness. "I don't expect you to forget what happened. I just hope that with time, we can find a way forward together." In the days that followed, we made a conscious effort to nurture our bond. We went on long walks, rediscovering the simple pleasure of each other's company. We cooked meals together, laughing over shared memories and inside jokes that had once been the foundation of our love. Slowly, tentatively, intimacy returned to our relationship. It was different now, tinged with the scars of betrayal, but also with a newfound appreciation for the fragile beauty of what we had. One afternoon, as we stood on our balcony overlooking the city skyline, Lucy turned to me with a small smile playing on her lips. "Thank you for giving us another chance," she said sincerely, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. "I know it hasn't been easy." I looked at her, the woman who had once been my everything, and felt a glimmer of hope stir within me. "I'm not sure where we're headed," I admitted honestly, my voice soft with emotion. "But I want to find out. Together." Her smile widened a radiant expression that spoke volumes of the hope we shared. "Together," she echoed, reaching for my hand once more. In the months that followed, we continued to navigate the complexities of rebuilding our marriage. There were setbacks and moments of doubt, but also small victories and glimpses of the deep connection that had drawn us together in the first place. We learned to communicate openly and honestly, to lean on each other in times of uncertainty, and to cherish the moments of joy and laughter that punctuated our days. As we approached our 16th anniversary, we decided to return to Hawaii, the place where our journey had taken a tumultuous turn. This time, it would be a pilgrimage of sorts, a testament to our resilience and determination to forge a future together. Standing on the same beach where I had first confronted Lucy about her betrayal, we watched the sunset paint the sky in hues of orange and pink. The ocean whispered secrets of forgiveness and renewal, a silent witness to the love that had weathered the storm. "I love you, Lucy," I whispered, my voice carried away by the gentle breeze. She turned to me, her eyes shining with love and gratitude. "I love you too, Jason," she replied, her voice steady and sure. And as we stood there hand in hand, we knew that our journey was far from over. But with each step forward, we were healing, growing stronger, and embracing the fragile beauty of second chances. Returning from Hawaii marked a turning point in our journey of healing. The sun-kissed memories of our second trip to the islands lingered in our minds, a stark contrast to the shadows that had clouded our first visit. Back home, Lucy and I continued to navigate the intricate path of rebuilding trust and rediscovering each other. The wounds of betrayal, though not forgotten, no longer dominated our every conversation. Instead, they served as a reminder of our resilience and determination to salvage our marriage. In the quiet moments of introspection, I found myself reflecting on the nature of forgiveness. It wasn't a single act, but a daily choice, a conscious effort to let go of the pain and resentment that threatened to poison our future. Lucy, too, grappled with her journey of redemption. She immersed herself in self-reflection and personal growth, seeking to understand the roots of her actions and the impact they had on our relationship. One evening, as we sat in our favorite corner of the living room, the soft glow of candles casting dancing shadows on the walls, Lucy broached a topic that had lingered unspoken between us. "Jason," she began quietly, her eyes searching mine for understanding, "do you think we'll ever fully recover from what happened?" I took a moment to gather my thoughts, the weight of her question settling heavily on my shoulders. "I'm not sure," I admitted honestly, my voice tinged with uncertainty. "But I do know that forgiveness isn't about forgetting. It's about acceptance and choosing to move forward despite the pain." She nodded thoughtfully, her expression a mix of regret and determination. "I want us to have a future together," she confessed softly, her vulnerability a stark contrast to the walls she had once erected around her heart. "I do too," I replied earnestly, reaching out to squeeze her hand in reassurance. "But it's going to take time, Lucy. Time for wounds to heal, for trust to be rebuilt." As weeks turned into months, our conversations became more open and heartfelt. We shared our hopes and fears for the future, weaving dreams of a life renewed with threads of cautious optimism. Together, we explored new hobbies and passions, rediscovering the joy of companionship that had once defined our relationship. We laughed more freely, our laughter a testament to the resilience of love that had weathered the storm. One afternoon, as we strolled through a sun-dappled park hand in hand, Lucy paused to admire a blooming cherry blossom tree. Its delicate petals fluttered in the breeze, a fleeting reminder of the transient beauty of life. "Jason," Lucy began quietly, her gaze fixed on the tree's graceful branches, "I've been thinking about forgiveness, about what it means for us." I stopped beside her, the warmth of her hand in mine grounding me in the present moment. "What have you been thinking?" I prompted gently, curious to hear her thoughts. She turned to face me, her eyes bright with determination. "Forgiveness isn't just about letting go of the past," she mused, her voice steady. "It's about embracing the future with open hearts and a willingness to learn from our mistakes." Her words resonated deep within me, a reminder of the transformative power of forgiveness. At that moment, beneath the canopy of cherry blossoms, I felt a flicker of hope ignite within me, a belief that our love was stronger than the scars that marked our journey. As we continued our walk, the weight of our shared history felt lighter, carried away by the gentle breeze. We weren't defined by our mistakes, but by our resilience in facing them together. And as the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the horizon, I knew that forgiveness wasn't just a destination, but a continuous journey. A journey we were navigating hand in hand, one step at a time, towards a future filled with possibility and renewed love. Months turned into a year since our journey through betrayal and reconciliation began. Lucy and I had traversed rocky terrain, weathering storms of doubt and despair, but also basking in the warmth of newfound understanding and forgiveness. Our relationship had undergone a metamorphosis, a transformation born from the ashes of broken trust and nurtured by the tender shoots of renewed commitment. One crisp autumn morning, as golden leaves fluttered down from the trees outside our home, Lucy approached me with a quiet determination in her eyes. "Jason," she began, her voice steady yet tinged with emotion, "I've been thinking a lot about us, about where we've been and where we're headed." I set aside my newspaper, meeting her gaze with curiosity. "What are you thinking?" I asked, my heart suddenly fluttering with anticipation. She took a deep breath, her fingers tracing patterns on the tabletop. "I want us to renew our vows," she said softly, her words hanging in the air between us. Surprise and warmth flooded through me simultaneously. "Renew our vows?" I repeated, a smile tugging at the corners of my mouth. "Why now?" Lucy looked up, her eyes shimmering with unshed tears. "Because I want to reaffirm my commitment to you," she explained earnestly, "to celebrate how far we've come and to symbolize our journey towards a future filled with hope and love." I reached across the table, taking her hand in mine. "I would love that," I replied sincerely, my heart swelling with gratitude for the woman who had fought so fiercely to reclaim our love. In the weeks that followed, We immersed ourselves in planning our vow renewal ceremony. It became a labor of love, a testament to our shared resilience and the deep bond that had withstood the tests of time. We chose a tranquil garden as the backdrop for our renewal, surrounded by blooming flowers and the gentle rustle of leaves in the breeze. Close friends and family gathered their presence, a poignant reminder of the community that had supported us through our darkest hours. As I stood at the altar, watching Lucy walk towards me in a gown that shimmered like moonlit waves, my heart overflowed with love and gratitude. Her eyes met mine, sparkling with tears of joy and redemption. When it came time to exchange vows, we spoke from the depths of our souls. We promised to cherish each other, to nurture trust and understanding, and to embrace the challenges and joys that lay ahead. "I take you, Lucy, to be my wife again," I said, my voice unwavering with conviction. "To love and to cherish, in good times and in bad, from this day forward, until the end of our days." Lucy's voice trembled slightly as she repeated her vows, her words a testament to the resilience of love that had endured despite the scars of the past. As we exchanged rings, a symbol of our renewed commitment, I felt a profound sense of peace settle over me. We had emerged from the shadows stronger than before, our love forged in the fires of adversity and tempered by forgiveness. The reception that followed was filled with laughter and heartfelt speeches, a celebration of love reclaimed and a future filled with promise. As Lucy and I danced under the starlit sky, surrounded by the warmth of loved ones and the music that echoed our journey, I knew that this was not just a new beginning, but a continuation of a love story that had been tested and ultimately triumphed. And as we embraced, our hearts beating in sync with the rhythm of the night, I whispered words of gratitude to the universe, for second chances, for the healing power of forgiveness, and for the enduring strength of love that had guided us back to each other's arms. With our vow renewal behind us, Lucy and I embarked on a new chapter of our lives, filled with hope, determination, and a profound sense of gratitude for the second chance we had been given. The months following our ceremony were a time of introspection and growth. We continued our counseling sessions, delving deeper into the roots of our past struggles and learning new tools to strengthen our communication and trust. Lucy threw herself into her work with renewed vigor, channeling her energy into projects that fulfilled her and brought purpose to her days. I, too, found solace in my career, pouring myself into endeavors that challenged and inspired me. Together, we explored new passions and hobbies, seeking out adventures that enriched our lives and deepened our connection. We traveled to places we had always dreamed of visiting, creating memories that were not overshadowed by the past, but illuminated by the light of our shared commitment. One evening, as we sat on our porch watching the sunset paint the sky in hues of pink and gold, Lucy turned to me with a smile that reached her eyes. "I never thought we would come this far," she mused, her voice tinged with wonder. I took her hand in mine, tracing circles on her palm with my thumb. "Neither did I admitted quietly. "But I'm grateful every day that we did." She leaned her head against my shoulder, the weight of her presence a comforting anchor. "Do you ever regret forgiving me?" she asked suddenly, her voice barely a whisper. I turned to look at her, the setting sun casting a halo around her face. "No," I replied firmly, my voice filled with conviction. "Forgiving you was the best decision I ever made." Lucy's eyes glistened with tears, a mixture of gratitude and relief shining through. "I'm so sorry for what I put you through," she said earnestly, her voice breaking with emotion. "And I promise to spend the rest of my life making it up to you." I cupped her face in my hands, brushing away a tear with my thumb. "We've both made mistakes," I reminded her gently. "But it's how we've grown from them that matters." In the months and years that followed, Lucy and I continued to navigate the ebb and flow of life together. We faced challenges with a newfound resilience, drawing strength from the lessons we had learned and the love that anchored us. Our relationship blossomed into a partnership built on trust, communication, and unwavering support. We celebrated milestones, both big and small, with gratitude and joy, knowing that each moment was a gift we had fought hard to reclaim. As we approached our 20th anniversary, we reflected on the journey that had brought us to where we stood, hand in hand, hearts intertwined, and souls united in a love that had endured the test of time. On the eve of our anniversary, I surprised Lucy with a trip back to Hawaii, the place where our love had been tested and ultimately reaffirmed. We walked along the same beaches where we had confronted our demons, but this time our steps were light with the weightlessness of forgiveness and renewed hope. Standing beneath a canopy of stars, with the gentle lull of waves in the background, I whispered words of love and gratitude to the woman who had been my anchor through life's storms. "I love you, Lucy," I said softly, my voice carrying across the ocean breeze. She turned to me, her eyes shining with love and devotion. "And I love you, Jason," she replied, her voice a melody that echoed in my heart. And as we embraced beneath the vast expanse of a starlit sky, I knew that our love story was far from over. Together, we had weathered the tempests of betrayal and emerged stronger on the other side, a testament to the power of forgiveness, resilience, and the enduring beauty of love that had guided us back to each other's arms, where we belonged. As Lucy and I celebrated our 20th anniversary, our hearts were filled with gratitude for the journey we had traversed together. We stood on the precipice of a new chapter in our lives, reflecting on the trials and triumphs that had shaped our love story. One crisp autumn morning, Lucy surprised me with breakfast in bed, a simple yet heartfelt gesture that spoke volumes of her love and appreciation. We lingered in the cozy embrace of our bedroom, reminiscing about the moments that had brought us to this milestone. "Do you remember our first date?" Lucy asked with a soft smile, her eyes alight with nostalgia. I chuckled softly, the memory of that awkward yet magical evening still vivid in my mind. "How could I forget?" I replied fondly. "You spilled your drink on me, and we spent the rest of the night laughing about it." Lucy laughed, a melodic sound that warmed my heart. "It wasn't exactly the smoothest start," she admitted, "but it was the beginning of something beautiful." We spent the day revisiting old haunts, coffee shops where we had shared quiet moments, parks where we had walked hand in hand, and restaurants where we had celebrated milestones both big and small. As we strolled through a sun-dappled park, Lucy paused to admire a pair of nesting birds building their home in the branches above. "Do you ever think about how far we've come?" she mused, her voice tinged with wonder. I took her hand in mine, marveling at the journey that had transformed us from two individuals into a partnership forged in the fires of adversity. "Every day," I admitted softly. "And I'm grateful for every moment, even the difficult ones." Lucy squeezed my hand gently, her gaze filled with a depth of emotion that words could not express. "I'm grateful too," she whispered, her voice barely above a whisper. That evening, as we stood on our balcony watching the sunset paint the sky in hues of orange and pink, I felt a sense of peace settle over me. Our love had endured hardships that had threatened to tear us apart, but through it all, we had emerged stronger and more resilient. As we toasted to 20 years of love, laughter, and second chances, I knew that our journey was far from over. Together, Lucy and I looked forward to the future with hope and anticipation, knowing that as long as we walked hand in hand, our love would continue to flourish and grow. And as the stars twinkled overhead, casting their gentle light upon us, I whispered a silent vow: to cherish Lucy, to nurture our love, and to embrace the adventures that lay ahead, knowing that together we could weather any storm that came our way. As Lucy and I entered the next phase of our lives together, the legacy of our journey reverberated in every moment we shared. Our days were filled with laughter, companionship, and a profound sense of gratitude for the resilience of our love. One crisp spring morning, Lucy approached me with a glimmer of excitement in her eyes. "Jason, do you remember the idea we talked about a while back?" she asked, a smile playing on her lips. I furrowed my brow, trying to recall our past conversations amidst the hustle and bustle of daily life. "Which idea?" I queried, curiosity piqued. She took a deep breath, her hands clasped in front of her. "The idea of starting a foundation to support couples who have gone through similar challenges as us," she explained eagerly. Recognition dawned on me, and warmth spread through my chest at the thought of turning our experiences into something meaningful. "That's right," I said, nodding in agreement, "to offer guidance, counseling, and resources to help them navigate the complexities of rebuilding trust and rediscovering love." Lucy nodded enthusiastically, her eyes shining with determination. "I've been doing some research," she continued, "and I think we can make a real difference in the lives of others who are struggling." Together, we began laying the groundwork for our foundation, a labor of love fueled by our shared desire to give back and support those facing challenges similar to ours. We reached out to counselors, therapists, and experts in relationship dynamics, gathering insights and forming partnerships to ensure our foundation would be a beacon of hope for couples in need. In the months that followed, we hosted workshops and seminars, sharing our story of forgiveness and renewal with others who were on their journeys of healing. We offered guidance on communication strategies, trust-building exercises, and the importance of self-reflection in fostering healthy relationships. Lucy poured her heart into the foundation, her passion for helping others evident in every conversation and planning session. Together, we navigated the intricacies of fundraising and outreach, rallying support from friends, family, and the community at large. One evening, as we stood before a gathering of supporters at our foundation's inaugural event, I felt a swell of pride in Lucy's dedication and our shared commitment to making a difference. Our journey has taught us that love is not without its challenges, Lucy began, her voice steady and resonant. But it is in facing those challenges together that we discover the true strength of our bond. I stood beside her, a silent pillar of support as she spoke from the heart about forgiveness, resilience, and the transformative power of love. As we embark on this new chapter, Lucy concluded, her gaze sweeping over the audience, let us remember that every relationship is worth fighting for. With the right support and guidance, we can overcome obstacles and build a future filled with love, trust, and mutual respect. The applause that followed was thunderous, a testament to the impact of our shared journey on those who had gathered to support our cause. In the years that followed, our foundation grew and flourished, expanding its reach and impact on couples around the world. We continued to offer counseling, workshops, and resources, fostering a community of resilience and hope for those facing challenges in their relationships. As Lucy and I reflected on the legacy we were building together, I knew that our love story, marked by forgiveness, redemption, and the determination to make a difference, would endure for generations to come. And as we held hands, standing on the threshold of yet another adventure, I whispered a silent vow to continue nurturing our love, to support others in their journeys, and to embrace the future with open hearts and a steadfast commitment to each other. As Lucy and I ventured deeper into the realm of our foundation and continued to nurture our relationship, a sense of fulfillment and gratitude permeated our lives. We found ourselves embracing each day with a renewed appreciation for the love and second chances that had shaped our journey. One sunny afternoon, Lucy and I took a stroll through a botanical garden near our home. The air was perfumed with the scent of blooming flowers, and the gentle rustle of leaves provided a soothing backdrop to our conversation. "I can't believe how far we've come," Lucy said softly, her eyes reflecting the beauty of the garden around us. I smiled, intertwining my fingers with hers. "It's been quite a journey," I agreed, filled with challenges, but also with moments of incredible growth and joy. We paused beside a serene pond, watching as koi fish glided gracefully beneath the surface. "Do you ever think about what might have been if we hadn't chosen to fight for our marriage?" Lucy asked, her voice tinged with curiosity. I considered her question thoughtfully, my gaze drifting across the tranquil landscape. "Sometimes," I admitted honestly, "but I believe that our struggles have made us stronger. They've deepened our understanding of each other and taught us invaluable lessons about forgiveness and resilience." Lucy nodded, her expression thoughtful. "I'm grateful every day that we chose to fight for us," she confessed quietly. "And I'm thankful for the love and support we've received along the way. Our foundation had become a beacon of hope for couples navigating similar challenges, offering resources, support, and a community of understanding. Lucy's dedication and passion had played a pivotal role in its success, and I couldn't help but feel a swell of pride and admiration for her. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the garden, we found a quiet bench and sat down together. The warmth of Lucy's presence beside me filled me with a sense of peace and contentment that words could not adequately express. "I love you, Lucy," I said softly, breaking the comfortable silence between us. She turned to me, her eyes shimmering with unshed tears of happiness. "And I love you, Jason," she replied, her voice filled with warmth and sincerity. In that moment, surrounded by the beauty of nature and the echoes of our shared journey, I knew that our love story was far from over. Together, Lucy and I had embraced the challenges and triumphs that had brought us to this place, a place of gratitude, fulfillment, and an unwavering commitment to each other. As we walked hand in hand out of the garden, the stars began to twinkle overhead, casting their gentle light upon our path. And as we looked ahead to the future, I knew with certainty that as long as we faced it together, our love would continue to flourish and illuminate the way forward. As Lucy and I celebrated our silver wedding anniversary, we found ourselves reflecting on the depth and breadth of our shared journey, a journey marked by resilience, forgiveness, and an unwavering commitment to each other. On a crisp autumn evening, we gathered with friends and family in a cozy venue adorned with twinkling lights and fragrant flowers. Laughter and music filled the air as we toasted to 25 years of love, growth, and the countless moments that had woven our lives together. Amidst the celebration, Lucy and I stole a quiet moment on the balcony, overlooking a city bathed in the soft glow of twilight. "I can't believe it's been 25 years," Lucy murmured, her voice tinged with wonder. I wrapped my arm around her shoulders, pulling her close. "It feels like a lifetime," I replied softly, filled with so many memories and experiences that have shaped who we are today. We reminisced about our early days together, the laughter and tears, the challenges we had overcome, and the dreams we had pursued side by side. Our journey had been far from easy, but it had been rich with love and a deepening appreciation for the gift of each other's presence. As we mingled with our guests, I found myself struck by the diverse tapestry of relationships that surrounded us, each one a testament to the unique paths we all walk in search of love and fulfillment. Our foundation had grown into a thriving community of support, offering guidance and resources to couples facing their challenges. In the quiet moments that followed, Lucy and I danced beneath the starlit sky, our steps a graceful reflection of the harmony we had cultivated in our marriage. The music wove a tapestry of nostalgia and hope, echoing the melodies of our shared history. "Thank you for choosing me," Lucy whispered as we swayed together, her eyes sparkling with unshed tears. I pressed a kiss to her forehead, overwhelmed with gratitude for the woman who had stood by my side through every storm and triumph. "Thank you for choosing me too," I murmured in response, my heart overflowing with love. As the night drew to a close, we exchanged heartfelt goodbyes with our loved ones, their well wishes a testament to the enduring love and respect we had cultivated over the years. On our journey home, with the echoes of laughter and music still lingering in the air, Lucy and I reflected on the significance of this milestone. Our love story has been shaped by forgiveness, resilience, and a deep-seated belief in the transformative power of love. As we stepped through the threshold of our home, hand in hand, I knew with certainty that our journey together was far from over. We had weathered the storms of life and emerged stronger on the other side, a testament to the enduring beauty of a love that had stood the test of time. And as we settled into the warmth and comfort of our shared space, I whispered a silent vow to continue cherishing Lucy, to nurture our love with each passing day, and to embrace the future with open hearts and a steadfast commitment to each other, knowing that our love story would continue to unfold with grace and resilience for many years to come. As Lucy and I entered the twilight years of our lives together, our hearts overflowed with gratitude for the love, resilience, and shared experiences that had shaped our journey. We had retired to a cozy cottage by the sea, surrounded by the tranquil beauty of nature and the echoes of our memories. Each day brought its quiet rhythm, a rhythm filled with morning walks along the shore, shared cups of tea by the fire, and the simple joys of being together. One afternoon, as we sat on our porch watching the waves dance against the shore, Lucy turned to me with a serene smile. "Jason, do you ever think about our legacy?" she asked softly, her gaze thoughtful. I took her hand in mine, the warmth of her touch grounding me in the present moment. "I do," I replied, my voice filled with a quiet certainty. "I think about the foundation we started, and how it continues to make a difference in the lives of others." Lucy nodded, her eyes shimmering with pride. "I'm so grateful we followed through with that dream," she said earnestly. "It's brought so much meaning to our lives." We reminisced about the couples we had helped through our foundation, each one a testament to the power of forgiveness, resilience, and the unwavering belief in the transformative nature of love. Our journey had not only strengthened our bond, but had also inspired us to pay it forward and support others on their paths to healing. As the years passed, Lucy and I found joy in spending time with our grandchildren, sharing stories of our adventures, and imparting lessons learned over a lifetime. We reveled in the laughter that filled our home and the sense of fulfillment that came from seeing our family thrive. One evening, as we sat by the fire, surrounded by the flickering glow of candles and the soft strains of music, Lucy spoke softly. "Jason, if there's one thing I've learned from our journey together, it's that love is our greatest legacy," she said, her voice filled with wisdom born of a lifetime of experiences. I gazed at her, overwhelmed with love and admiration for the woman who had been my partner, my confidant, and my anchor through life's ups and downs. "You're right," I replied softly. "Our love story is the most precious gift we can pass on to the next generation." As we embraced beneath the canopy of stars, I knew with certainty that our legacy would endure, a legacy of love, hope, and the unwavering belief that no challenge is insurmountable when faced with courage and compassion. And as we settled into the quiet embrace of our twilight years, I whispered a silent vow to continue cherishing Lucy, to treasure every moment we had together, and to leave behind a legacy that would inspire others to believe in the power of love, no matter the obstacles life may present. As the evening approached, Lucy and I had plans to enjoy a quiet dinner at a local restaurant. I had orchestrated a subtle plan to coincidentally encounter Daniel at the same bar earlier in the day. As we walked into the dimly lit establishment, I scanned the room nervously, hoping to spot him. There, in a corner booth, Daniel sat with a group of friends, laughing and chatting animatedly. My heart raced as I approached, trying to maintain composure and hide the storm brewing inside me. "Look who it is!" Daniel exclaimed with genuine warmth as he noticed us approaching. "Jason, Lucy, what a pleasant surprise!" I plastered on a smile, shaking his hand firmly while inwardly seething with the knowledge of his betrayal. "Hey, Daniel," I managed to say, my voice steady despite the turmoil within. Lucy exchanged pleasantries with Daniel's friends, unaware of the tension thickening the air around us. We settled into chairs opposite Daniel's group, the atmosphere strained with unspoken truths. As the evening progressed, I found myself observing Daniel closely, noting the easy way he interacted with everyone around him. It was infuriating how effortlessly he carried on, oblivious to the havoc his actions had wreaked on my life. Finally, unable to contain my mounting anger any longer, I leaned in closer to Daniel, my voice low and filled with suppressed fury. "Daniel, can we talk for a moment?" I asked tersely, my eyes boring into his. He glanced at me, momentarily taken aback by the intensity of my gaze. "Sure, Jason," he replied casually, clearly unaware of the storm brewing beneath the surface. I gestured toward a quieter corner of the bar, away from prying ears. As we stood face to face, the weight of my words hung heavy in the air between us. "I know," I began, my voice trembling with a mix of anger and betrayal. "I know about you and Sarah." Daniel's expression shifted, a flicker of uncertainty crossing his features before he attempted to mask it with a nonchalant demeanor. "I don't know what you're talking about," he retorted defensively, his voice tinged with a hint of panic. "Don't lie to me, Daniel," I shot back, my voice rising despite my efforts to remain composed. "I've seen the messages, the emails. I know the truth." Daniel's facade crumbled, replaced by a mixture of guilt and shame. He looked down, unable to meet my accusing gaze. "I'm sorry," he muttered finally, his voice barely above a whisper. "I never meant for any of this to happen." My hands clenched into fists at my sides, struggling to contain the rage threatening to consume me. "Do you have any idea what you've done?" I demanded harshly, my voice thick with emotion. "You've betrayed not just me, but your friendship with me." Daniel remained silent, his head bowed in shame. The weight of his betrayal hung heavily in the air, casting a shadow over our once solid friendship. After what felt like an eternity of charged silence, I spoke again, my voice quieter now, filled with a mixture of hurt and disappointment. "I trusted you, Daniel," I said, each word measured and deliberate, "and you threw it all away." He finally looked up, his eyes filled with remorse. "I'm sorry," he repeated earnestly, his voice cracking with emotion. "I never meant to hurt you or Lucy." I took a deep breath, struggling to find the words to express the depth of my pain. "I don't know if I can forgive you," I admitted quietly. the weight of my words hanging heavily in the air. Daniel nodded slowly, his expression resigned. "I understand," he replied softly. "But I hope in time you can find it in your heart to forgive me." With that, I turned away, unable to bear the sight of him any longer. Lucy approached cautiously, sensing the tension that hung between us like a veil. "Are you okay?" she asked softly, concern etched in her features. I nodded, forcing a smile despite the turmoil inside. "Let's go," I said quietly, reaching for her hand. "I just want to be with you right now." As we walked out of the bar, leaving Daniel and his betrayals behind, I knew that our journey had taken an unexpected turn. The foundations of trust had been shaken, leaving us both grappling with the aftermath of revelations that threatened to tear apart the fabric of our lives. In the aftermath of the confrontation with Daniel, Lucy and I found ourselves navigating uncharted waters, grappling with the aftermath of betrayal and the fragile threads of trust that had been torn asunder. The days that followed were a blur of emotions: anger, hurt, and a profound sense of disillusionment. Lucy stood by my side, offering silent strength and unwavering support as we processed the shocking revelation of Daniel's betrayal. We retreated into the sanctuary of our home, seeking solace in the familiarity of our shared space. The air was thick with unspoken words, our hearts heavy with the weight of shattered trust. One evening, as we sat in the quiet solitude of our living room, Lucy broke the silence that had enveloped us like a suffocating blanket. "Jason," she began softly, her voice trembling with emotion, "I'm so sorry this happened. I never wanted to hurt you." I turned to her, the pain in her eyes mirroring my own. "It's not your fault," I reassured her gently, reaching for her hand. "Daniel's actions are his own, and nothing you did could change that." Tears welled in Lucy's eyes, cascading down her cheeks in silent streams. "I just hate seeing you like this," she whispered brokenly, her voice thick with emotion. I pulled her into my arms, holding her close as we both sought comfort in each other's embrace. "We'll get through this," I murmured against her hair, my voice hoarse with unshed tears. "Together." In the days that followed, Lucy and I embarked on a journey of healing and rebuilding. We attended counseling sessions together, seeking guidance on how to navigate the aftermath of betrayal and rebuild the foundations of trust that had been shaken to their core. Communication became our lifeline, as we navigated difficult conversations with honesty and vulnerability. We laid bare our fears, our doubts, and our hopes for the future, forging a deeper understanding of each other's pain and resilience. Slowly, tentatively, we began to rebuild the shattered pieces of our trust. Lucy's unwavering commitment to our marriage and her steadfast belief in our love became a beacon of hope in the darkness that threatened to engulf us. One evening, as we sat beneath the stars in our backyard, I took Lucy's hand in mine, tracing circles on her palm with my thumb. "I love you," I said softly, the words a whispered promise of renewal and redemption. She looked at me, her eyes shimmering with tears of gratitude and relief. "I love you too, Jason," she replied, her voice a gentle echo of the love that had endured despite the trials we had faced. As we gazed up at the endless expanse of the night sky, I felt a sense of peace settle over us. A peace born of forgiveness, resilience, and the unwavering belief in the healing power of love. In the days, months, and years that followed, Lucy and I continued to nurture our relationship with renewed dedication and gratitude. We celebrated milestones both big and small, cherishing each moment as a testament to the strength of our bond. And as we looked toward the future with hope and anticipation, I knew with certainty that our love story was far from over. Together, Lucy and I had weathered the storm of betrayal and emerged stronger on the other side, a testament to the enduring beauty of a love that had withstood the test of time and adversity. As time passed and the wounds of betrayal began to heal, Lucy and I found ourselves embracing a newfound sense of renewal and hope for the future. Our journey together had taken us through tumultuous waters, but we had emerged on the other side stronger and more resilient than ever. We decided to take a trip, a journey of rediscovery and renewal in a place that held special meaning for us. Together, we embarked on a road trip along the rugged coastline, the salty breeze of the ocean mingling with the promise of new beginnings. The open road stretched out before us, winding through picturesque landscapes and quaint towns that seemed to echo the beauty and complexity of our relationship. We stopped at roadside diners and mom-and-pop shops, savoring each moment of freedom and togetherness. One afternoon, we found ourselves standing on a windswept cliff, overlooking the crashing waves below. The vastness of the ocean stretched out before us, its ever-changing surface a reflection of the journey we had traveled together. "I never thought we'd come this far," Lucy murmured, her voice tinged with awe as she looked out at the horizon. I wrapped my arms around her, pulling her close against the chill of the ocean breeze. "Neither did I admitted quietly, "but I'm grateful for every twist and turn that brought us here." Lucy turned to me, her eyes shining with unshed tears of gratitude. "I'm grateful too," she whispered, her voice barely above a whisper. At that moment, standing on the edge of the world with Lucy in my arms, I knew that our love was a force stronger than any storm we had weathered. It was a love forged in the crucible of forgiveness, resilience, and an unwavering commitment to each other. As we continued our journey along the coastline, we made new memories, moments of laughter, quiet contemplation, and shared dreams for the future. We talked about our hopes and aspirations, letting go of the shadows of the past and embracing the light of possibility that lay ahead. One evening, as we sat beneath a canopy of stars on a secluded beach, I took Lucy's hand in mine and looked into her eyes that held the reflection of a love that had endured and flourished despite the challenges we had faced. "I love you," I said softly, the words carrying the weight of everything we had been through together. Lucy smiled, her heart overflowing with love and gratitude. "And I love you," she replied, her voice filled with warmth and sincerity. At that moment, as the waves gently lapped at the shore and the stars twinkled overhead, I knew that our journey was far from over. Together, Lucy and I had found renewal in the face of adversity, and we were ready to embrace the future with open hearts and a steadfast commitment to each other. As we walked hand in hand along the beach, the moonlight casting a soft glow around us, I whispered a silent vow to cherish Lucy, to nurture our love, and to continue writing the beautiful chapters of our love story, knowing that our journey together would continue to unfold with grace and resilience for years to come. With time, Lucy and I settled into a rhythm of life, enriched by the experiences that had shaped us. Our journey taught us the value of resilience, forgiveness, and the profound strength of our love. As we navigated the complexities of everyday life, we found ourselves drawn to new beginnings and opportunities that beckoned on the horizon. One such opportunity presented itself when Lucy expressed a long-held dream of pursuing a passion project that had been in her heart for years. "I've been thinking," Lucy began one evening as we sat in our cozy living room, the glow of the fireplace casting flickering shadows across the walls. "I want to start a community art program for children." Her eyes sparkled with enthusiasm, her voice filled with a sense of purpose that resonated deeply within me. I listened intently as she shared her vision, a space where children from all walks of life could explore their creativity, express themselves through art, and discover the joy of creating something beautiful. "I think it could make a real difference," Lucy continued earnestly. "Giving children a creative outlet can empower them and nurture their confidence in ways that go beyond just painting or drawing." I nodded in agreement, filled with admiration for Lucy's passion and the depth of her compassion for others. "It's a wonderful idea," I said warmly, reaching for her hand, "and I'm behind you every step of the way." With Lucy's determination leading the charge, we embarked on a journey to turn her dream into reality. We sought out a suitable space, secured funding through community support and grants, and enlisted the help of local artists and volunteers who shared Lucy's vision. The community art program quickly gained momentum, drawing children from the neighborhood and beyond. Lucy's gentle guidance and nurturing spirit created a haven where young minds could flourish and artistic talents could blossom. I watched with pride as Lucy poured her heart and soul into the program, her dedication a testament to her unwavering commitment to making a positive impact in the lives of others. Together, we celebrated each milestone, the first exhibition showcasing the children's artwork, the smiles of pride on their faces as they unveiled their creations to their families. Amid our new endeavor, Lucy and I found ourselves growing closer than ever before. Our shared passion for making a difference united us in purpose, strengthening the bond that had weathered storms and emerged stronger on the other side. One evening, as we stood together admiring a wall adorned with colorful paintings created by the children, Lucy turned to me with a radiant smile. Thank you for believing in me, she said softly, her eyes shimmering with unshed tears of happiness. I pulled her into a tender embrace, overwhelmed with love and gratitude for the woman who had enriched my life in ways I could never have imagined. I believe in you, Lucy, I whispered against her hair, and I'm so proud of everything you've accomplished. As we stood there, surrounded by the vibrant energy of creativity and hope, I knew with certainty that our journey together was far from over. Lucy's dream had become a beacon of inspiration and renewal, lighting the way for us to embrace each new chapter with open hearts and a shared commitment to making a difference in the world. As we looked ahead to the future, filled with endless possibilities and opportunities, I whispered a silent vow to continue supporting Lucy, to cherish our love, and to seize every moment as we continued to write the beautiful chapters of our lives together. On our final evening in Hawaii, Lucy and I found ourselves sitting on the beach, watching the vibrant hues of the sunset painting the sky in shades of crimson and gold. The rhythmic sound of the waves crashing against the shore provided a soothing backdrop to the emotions swirling within me. Bitterness and relief intertwined in a complex tapestry. As I gazed out at the horizon, the setting sun casting a warm glow over everything it touched, I couldn't shake the conflicting feelings that had been building inside me. The bitterness stemmed from the betrayal I had uncovered, the deceit that had shattered the trust between us. Despite my actions and the closure I had sought, a lingering ache remained, a reminder of the pain caused by Lucy's request to stray from our vows. Yet, amidst the bitterness, there was also a profound sense of relief. The weight of secrets and lies had been lifted from my shoulders. The truth, though painful, had brought clarity and closure to a chapter of our marriage that could never be revisited. Our relationship had irrevocably changed, forever marked by the wounds of betrayal and revenge. Lucy sat beside me, her presence a comforting anchor amid turbulent emotions. She glanced at me occasionally, sensing the turmoil within, but respecting the silence that enveloped us like a protective cocoon. I never imagined our journey would bring us here, Lucy finally spoke softly, her voice carrying a hint of sadness. I turned to her, meeting her gaze with a mixture of pain and tenderness. Neither did I admitted quietly. But here we are. Silence settled between us once more, punctuated only by the distant cries of seagulls and the gentle lapping of waves against the shore. The sun dipped lower on the horizon, casting long shadows across the sand as day gave way to twilight. I'm sorry, Lucy murmured, her voice barely above a whisper. For everything. I sighed heavily, the weight of her words echoing the heaviness in my heart. I know, I replied softly, my voice tinged with resignation. And I forgive you. The words hung in the air between us, carrying with them a bittersweet acknowledgement of the irreparable damage that had been done. Forgiveness, though offered, could not erase the scars that now marred the landscape of our marriage. As the last rays of sunlight disappeared beneath the sea, casting the world into darkness, Lucy reached for my hand. Her touch was a gentle reminder of the love that had once bound us together. A love that had weathered storms and triumphed over adversity. We'll find our way through this, Lucy said earnestly, her voice filled with determination. Together. I squeezed her hand gently, grateful for her unwavering faith and steadfastness in the face of our shared challenges. Together, I echoed, knowing that our journey was far from over and that the road ahead would be fraught with uncertainty and healing. As we sat on the beach, enveloped by the comforting embrace of the night, I knew that our love story had taken an unexpected turn. The bitterness and relief mingled within me, a testament to the complexities of forgiveness and the resilience of the human spirit. And as we looked out at the vast expanse of the ocean, shimmering under the moonlight, I whispered a silent vow to navigate the uncertain waters ahead with courage and compassion, to cherish the moments of connection and growth, and to continue writing the chapters of our story with honesty and grace.